You are a Soviet general in East Germany, and the unthinkable has just happened. NATO has launched the First Strike, nuking a series of major cities along the Vistula, cutting you off from reinforcements and decimating communications. What do you do? Fortunately, you've drilled an exercise for this event, and your superiors trust you to fulfill your objectives. Utilizing Soviet deep operation theory, you will break through NATO lines in West Germany, quickly reaching the river Rhine before they can organize a proper defense, and before Americans can arrive in force. Soviet High Command has already initiated a nuclear counterstrike on important NATO logistics hubs. These are, but are not limited to, Stuttgart, Munich, Nuremberg, Padua, Verona, Roskilde, and Vienna. Austria will be handled by the Hungarians and Czechoslovaks, whose main objective is to seize Vienna and then move forward to guard your flanks from NATO forces. However, the bulk of the fighting will be conducted in West Germany and Denmark, and this is where the operation will either succeed or catastrophically fail. Firstly, paratroopers will secure key sites such as bridges and airports, causing disarray amongst local defence forces, delaying and tying up NATO forces who are trying to mobilise to meet your offensives. Then, as the Soviets and Polish launch naval landing operations in Denmark, the bulk of the fighting on the German plains will begin. Exploiting your superior numbers, you launch a series of armoured thrusts. However, you do not engage the enemy, rather, you just try to take as much land as physically possible, linking up with forward units and denying the enemy the chance to reinforce. Any enemy units left behind from your sudden advance will be dealt with by your infantry. Within 7 days, you'll be master of everything east to the Rhine, your local communist parties and secret police keeping order behind you, allowing you to march to Lyon and beyond in 9 days. Of course, however, this was never going to be a reality. For starters, NATO would have the advantage in the air and at sea, likely hampering Warsaw Pact operations in Denmark and slowing your advance. Furthermore, once nuclear weapons were used, and especially if Eastern troops entered France, worldwide nuclear Armageddon would ensue. However, in tense atmospheres such as the Cold Wars, militaries have to be ready for any situation that could arise, but the most likely situation for many military planners was a ground war in Europe. Enjoy this content. If you like contemporary analysis of geopolitics, follow my Substack, link in the description and on my Instagram profile.